What is up, ninjas? My name is Sam World, and in today's video we're going to talk about a plugin that mixing engineers hate and mastering engineers despise, and best of all, it is free. Now, you've probably seen me use it in my music feedback streams when I'm reviewing your music live, and a lot of you guys have always asked me to make a tutorial on how I use it and what to look out for with it. So today we're going to be doing just that, guys. Now, the plugin itself is going to be called Voxengo Span, and today I'm going to be showing you guys ways that I utilize it in order to get better mixes, or at least kind of trust my ears a little better. Like, for instance, let's say I think the highs are too much, and then I look at Voxengo Span and it tells me, yeah, they're too much. Then, of course, I am a little bit more confident in that decision. As always, guys, if you want to support the channel, make sure to head over to evilsounds.com, and let's get started with this video. So, the first thing, guys, that we can do with Span is that we can run a reference track. So up here I have a track that's similar vibe to the one I'm currently working on, which is a very chill kind of chill prog, I guess you can say, kind of track. Now, I'm not going to play his track because I will get copyrighted, but again, we can run Voxengo Span, which is free, on it, and we can also check out how it's looking. So okay, so looking at this is a track that has been released, that is fully mastered. So looking at it, I know a couple of things. Now, if you're making big room and prog house, this spectrum is going to look different. So make sure when you're referencing tracks this way that you're doing it with tracks that are in the same retrospect as yours, similar sounds, maybe big ass kick, you know, whatever it is. Again, make sure it's similar, because again, you don't want to do this kind of mix on a big room track. It wouldn't make sense. Okay, and it also depends a lot on the instruments that you are utilizing. Now, there's a couple of things that I notice in all tracks, no matter what genre they're in, and this is the first tip I have for you guys when utilizing Span, and that is the low end. If you notice the low end, it never goes past -30, and if it does, it's for a split second, and it also touches it here and there, you know, just the tip. Watch what happens if I make my low end go above this. Watch what happens. We're just going to make the bass just go above that, okay? So we're going to do it, and you're going to notice that it's going to start to distort a bit. Okay, so that's the first tip I have for you guys utilizing Span. Is a lot of the times you guys will send me songs during the feedback live stream where I would tell you, I think you have too much low end, bro. And then I have to bring this thing up just to show you why. So Voxengo Span for that. Now, there's a big but here, and that is the fact that the -30 only works when your track is up to loudness. And what that means is this track is hitting around -8 loves, hopefully, and that's my desired loudness. However, if it was hitting -18 or -30, it wouldn't be up here, it would be somewhere around here. Okay, so you got to make sure that the track is equally as loud, but that's the first thing that we can do with it. Now, I cannot promise you that if you put your low end there, it's going to sound good, because if it's just like the bass and the kick is super quiet, then of course that makes no sense. But it is a good avenue for sort of to correlate with, especially if you're in a room where the low end sounds like crap. And especially if you're on headphones, etc. You can trust this a little bit to that extent. Of course, always do due diligence and try it out in the car, etc. Different parts, your grandma's speaker. But that's the first tip I have for you guys there. Okay, now the next thing here in this track, again, my track has similar sounds to that Chris Malinchak song. Mine utilizes a tiny kind of bass sound, so it's only normal that I'm going to have a big boost here, but it might be a little too much. Now, look what happens when I reduce on the master with this. Sounds a little bit more balanced. Now, of course, you got to be really careful with this trick here, because for me, in my track, it makes sense, okay? I think my lead sound is too loud. The piano I have is too loud. Maybe they're both just giving me too much of that frequency, so I have to maybe sacrifice, etc. I got to figure that out. But I know, okay, this is a problematic frequency. And again, I can see it in Span, because when you reference other people's tracks, you're going to notice there's things that constantly come up. And one of those things is that the mid-lows never go above the mid. Okay, so let's assume you're like, okay, Sen, I don't want to get you on the master. What do I do? Well, with Span, you can kind of command click. you can kind of hear majority of the sound there is the piano and also the pluck lead. So maybe what I can do is I can go to those sounds, which one of them is going to be found over here. This is the piano. And what I'm going to do is maybe lower the volume down a tad bit. And then I'm going to go to the pluck lead, which is going to be the rolling pluck. Okay, and we're going to lower the volume down a bit on it. Okay, so to me it's still sounding a little bit so again, we're going to try doing this one more time. Just a little less this time. Let's keep going here. Let me show you another example here. So another thing that people like to do as well, especially dubstep producers, is they'll go on the master and do something like this. Well, not on the master, but they'll subconsciously do it in the mix, and then it sounds like this. Brace your ears. I'm going to lower down the volume a bit. Okay, so obviously there, like the highs, you can kind of see there's a big ass mountain. Now they do say have a little smiley face when it comes to the frequency response, and it sounds good in the car. But here you can kind of hear with your ears. So the highs sound too loud, and when you look at this, again, it makes no sense for them to be that loud. Now in certain other tracks, this might look a little bit like this. This is going to be all full here, and then all of a sudden you have a mountain up here. Again, if you see something like that, utilize other people's reference tracks. Again, other people's tracks as reference. It's too fucking loud, bro. So we got to turn that down a bit. So we're just going to bring that. So far we looked at Span at utilizing it on the full out mix. Obviously we can know if the low end is too loud, if the high end is too much, if the mid are too much. And you can also utilize other people's tracks to kind of help with that. You can look at a bunch of tracks and then kind of look at their frequency response, and you're going to notice a lot of similarities that happen. Now, the other thing that we can do with it is we can target individual sounds with it. Now, I love Arcade. Arcade has some really good vocals in there, and I love using it for that. So for those of you guys that asked, that's where I get them. However, the thing I hate about Arcade is that all their vocals come with a bunch of caca frequency. And you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to play it, and this is how it looks. Now, as you hear that, you're going to notice it feels a little like choke me daddy kind of vibe. And that's due to, obviously, a frequency. If you look at that. Okay, so if you're doing EQs like this and you're kind of questioning it, maybe that's the right thing to do, so to lower that damn frequency down. There we go. I think that's a little better. Okay, so that's a little better. Okay. The other thing too is sometimes you're gonna see like resonance that's peeking out in the song, and that should always be like a red alert to you. For instance, I'll give you an example. A lot of you guys like to use strings. We're gonna put this one really low. You can kind of see it start to pop out there, so that again should always be a red alarm to you, going like there's something loud in the mix, or there's a lot of resonances in the mix. Now, resonances are good, guys, okay? You don't want to EQ them all out. However, if you see stuff like that, again, it should also raise red alarms. Now, while this might seem a lot of common sense, again, these are mistakes that people make all the time, that maybe their ears are dead from hearing it so long, that if they looked at Span, they would be able to realize it and go like, okay, Sen didn't need to tell me to lower down the string. So again, little things like that, guys. And again, it's totally fine if that's what's happening, because I know even for me, this track sounded good, and then I hear it again before making a tutorial. I'm like, it sounds fucking shit. So I always have to go back and fix. But again, Span helps a lot with that stuff. Now, there's other really cool stuff with Span. Obviously, we have a correlation meter there, which is going to tell you if it has good mono compatibility. The closer it is to Juan, then the better. If it goes down here and your track's always down here, then there's something wrong. You're having some phasing going on. But again, it's normal to kind of have it shift around. You can kind of see that. If we drop a Haas, you're gonna see that now it starts to go here because we've made it wide, but we've made it wide with the Haas, so that means that the phase has been messed up, the right and left. It's kind of, the timing is split a bit, so it creates the width for us. But again, you're messing up phase with that, and it sounds caca in mono. Okay, now Span has a lot of other cool features here, which I don't really utilize a lot. I utilize WLM like from waves for measuring loudness and whatnot. But the other thing and the last thing I'll show you guys is you can go into the presets and set up a stereo mastering one or mid-side stereo, which will show you the frequencies in the mid and the sides. Like so. Now if we play. Okay, that string is too fucking loud. Let's. Okay, so sometimes, you know, if you have a song where you have a bunch of like reverb or you make stuff wide, sometimes the wide might be louder than the mono, and that could also cause issues because again, most of the stuff down the center is usually the stuff we're paying attention to, like melodies, main leads, etc., the vocals. So if you have stuff like that, again, that might be questionable. But those are the ways that we utilize Span, guys. And again, I hope that you find this video helpful. You know, this is a video that a lot of you guys have been asking me to make. And I've made videos on Span before. It's just that they're kind of old, that people don't really watch them. But I hope that you guys like it. And it's a free download. What do you have to lose with it? Try it out. See, run it on your mixes that you've made before and see if there's anything popping up there that is a red alarm. See if you fix it, if it sounds better. And if it does, awesome. This video was well worth the made for me, as long as I helped someone out there. So that being said, you guys take care. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like, comment if you want to, and I'll catch you guys next time for another video. You guys take care and peace out.